it's Hannah Huhdaiday filling in for Laura Lodewyck with World News Center.
Okay, lots of news this week, Tony and Amy. Here's a food-related story. We're just talking about pizza.
Yeah.
A new state law to take effect in January will let diners in Illinois take home unfinished bottles of wine from restaurants instead of leaving the bottles or gulping down the remaining swill.
Right on.
Isn't that something? Fun news. Upon hearing this, actor-director Mel Gibson released a statement saying that he will shoot all future movies in Illinois. Funny thing, isn't that? Okay, TV time. TV star Monique was kicked off a United Airlines flight in Chicago last week after getting into an argument with a flight attendant. Don't do that.
Monique!
Not a good idea, right?
No.
Monique claims the attendant treated her like an animal.
Right.
Growling and stuff. In a related story, a flight attendant, due to a shortage of animal crackers, was beaten senseless by Russell Crowe's 3-week-old baby, Tennyson Spencer Crowe. Related.
The Australians are not getting
Animal
a good
crackers?
rap in this newscast.
It's fun news, isn't it? Here's more. A Virginia man discovered a 188-year-old King James Bible in a local trash bin.
Oh.
Biblical scholars are very excited about this find, as it is refreshing to read a copy of the Bible before all the rewrites by the religious right. Rewrites, rewrite. How about that? And in Missouri, a 24-year-old Marlon Brando Gill was charged with felony first-degree assault for shoving his cell phone down the throat of his girlfriend.
Oh my God!
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? It's gone to extremes, hasn't it? I think they're really starting to go overboard with the whole thing. In People magazine, did you hear about this story?
No.
Cover story last week. You saw it. You know you did. Singer Lance Bass, a member of the boy band NSYNC, revealed that he's gay.
Absolutely.
Congratulations to him. Bass planned to do something really gay to celebrate his coming out, but he couldn't think of anything gayer than being in a boy band. In a lengthy statement released Saturday, Mel Gibson, you heard this one, apologized for saying despicable things to deputies when he was arrested for investigation of driving drunk. You heard this, of course, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Here are a few highlights from Gibson's statement. Officer, I was just trying to study the lost Gospels, the book of Jack Daniels, the book of Jose Cuervo, the book of Budweiser. That's what he was doing. He was drinking.
You're doing the Braveheart version of Mel Gibson?
That's what I was trying. I was going for that too.
Very good, very good.
Right. American. Okay, now in an American story, back to Americana. American Floyd Landis, winner of the 2006 Tour de France, tested positive for elevated levels of testosterone in initial testing by the International Cycling Union. You heard this story, right?
Yeah, he's drinking right there in the picture.
If secondary testing shows the same result, he could be stripped of his Tour de France title. Tony, you and I were talking about that. Second time. Why are you going to test it for a second time, right?
I mean, wouldn't it be out of his system by now?
I would think so. What's the two-time around thing?
Yeah.
In a related story, several athletes from the recently completed gay games here in Chicago were stripped of their medals after they tested positive for voting Republican. Okay? And let's just move along here. One more final story. For the second time this summer, Chicagoans are coping with the heat as city leaders say temperatures are expected to hover around the mid-90s all week. Hundreds, right?
Well, I think it's ending now, though. I think it's over, isn't it?
In fact, it's so hot in Chicago.
How hot is it?
It's so hot in Chicago that Chicago police are allegedly asking criminal suspects to frisk and cuff themselves. And back to this. In a related story, the city is requesting the public to stay away from the bean sculpture as heat from its reflection has already caused several people to burst into flames.
I believe it. I believe it.
Have a great weekend, Tony Names.
Thank you. Hey, wonderful job, Laura. We'll be back soon, I guess. All right, there's more coming. Stick around.
He's the reason why the show is on the air.
He can turn the world on with his smile.
Oh, I think Pat's a big old lovable snuffleupagus.
Well, he's big and great and beautiful.
I wish Pat would stop putting his hand on my knee every week when we're taping the show.